And then there's three types of mortgages. So number one, the first most common is conventional. Conventional is going to be your cookie cutter, good credit, at least 3% down loan. And it's for, you can qualify down to 640, but generally for conventional, you're going to want at least 720 plus. One of the biggest misconceptions is that FHA loans are actually the best loans for first-time homebuyers. Not necessarily true. For FHA, you can put 3.5% down, but conventional as a first-time buyer, you can actually do 3% down. And in most cases, the conventional 3% down is better than the FHA loan because there's less upfront costs. So once again, not to get too much into the weeds, but just think of first-time home buyer, 3% down conventional. A lot of people opt to FHA because that's what they've seen online or what they've heard. Conventional is always going to be the best loan to go unless your credit score is, under 640, give or take. So conventional right now, the loan limit for that is $806,500. Anything above that, you're going to go to jumbo. Jumbo loan, just think bigger loans, higher credit scores on top of your down payment and closing costs. You're going to need reserves. So think extra assets for a jumbo loan. And then you have your government loans. So your FHA, VA, USDA. So FHA, 3.5% down. Great for lower credit score buyers or buyers who have a little more debt. You can take on a little more debt, qualify for a home. VA loans, those are for veterans, probably the best loan product in the market. That's 0% down up to $2 million. No mortgage insurance, which is great. So any veterans, let them know that they can get 0% down on almost any home they want. It's much looser to qualify. It's a really good benefit. And I would say, almost 70% of veterans aren't even aware that they can use the VA loan. And then USDA, those are land loans in rural areas. You're not going to really see those in Chicago, so we won't really touch on those. But there are loan limits for 1 to 4 units. So each unit you add, the loan amount actually increases. FHA has loan limits too, but those are about 70% less than conventional. And, like I said, talk to your lender when you're getting pre-approved between the differences between the three.
Looks like Dan has a question. Feel free.
Yeah. What's up, Dan?
Yeah, Joey, I'm in a closed large Facebook group, and someone posted in the group this morning. It's a dentist who is a veteran, clearly says looking for a lender that can give a competitive refinance rate for a VA loan. Anyone refinance recently and have recommendations? What would you say to that?
Yeah. So, the thing with VA, it's great. If they're a veteran, then there's a couple of types of refinances you can do. One is basically a streamline where you don't even you do a soft credit pull. You don't have to verify anything. You just lower the rate essentially. There's nuances with that, but also same thing. You can qualify higher debt to income ratio. You don't need as much equity to refi. The rates on VA are the best in the market compared to the others. So, as long as they qualify through our automated underwriting system with VA, it would be a great option. I would
And
also recommend in that group, we'll be doing these webinars as we get these going, probably once a month, once every other month. Let's get a bunch of those people to join and we can all talk about, how student loans impact buying a home.
I'll go back to them on that. I also think if they purchased in the last 2 years, probably their rates were probably higher with the VA, so they could get a lower interest rate somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Anyone who bought in the last 2 years is eligible for a refinance. I have people who bought with the VA loan last year. Now they're refinancing, getting almost 1% lower. So it never hurts to check.